lot of business news today here to talk about on the Transformer Slag podcast. So we're going to jump right into it. First thing we're going to cover is a update from Hasbro for those who have not received their HasLab Omega Prime just yet. There's been quite a portion of the fans that still haven't gotten it yet in the US, and a majority of Canadian backers and some international backers have not got their HasLab Omega Prime. They've been getting emails that have said that their package has been delivered, even though it has not. This has been a common problem that I've been seeing a lot of people report to me. And we got a message back from Hasbro saying that to ignore that email, there was a mistake with FedEx. The tracking is leading it back to the fulfillment center in California for FedEx. They're going to be addressing the problem, and people as of today, May 21st, as of this recording, 2025, should be receiving emails with their new tracking number and all this mess fixed. So hopefully that's all okay. It's been a rough one for this HasLab Omega Prime, let me tell you. Started out strong, great numbers with the backers and everything, but following the major delays for the product this year, I mean, it was the first time that we didn't have a HasLab product release. I mean, 2021 was Unicron, 2022 was Victory Saber, 2023 was Deathsaurus. We didn't get anything in 2024, and here we are now in 2025 finally getting this guy. Combined with those design issues and everything that was reported from multiple people, it just wasn't smooth sailing all around. So again, if you didn't get it in the mail yet, hang tight. There's going to be a new tracking that will be hitting your email very, very soon, and let's hope the Lio Kaiser is smooth sailing afterwards going into 2026. Let's go into some Funko news quickly. We talked about this last year, and now it's 100% confirmed. We have some EAN codes and prices for the next 4 Funko Pop Transformers, and these are Beast Wars related ones, which is pretty cool. I gotta give you credit. I'm not a big fan of Funko Pop, but I love me a Beast Wars. So we got the EAN codes. These are gonna be $15 each, $14.99. We don't have a release date yet, but they probably will be shipping out soon now that we have the EAN codes and everything. These are listed under the Pop TV Classics, which is a different subcategory completely. The G1 stuff was under Pop Retro Toys. The Rise of the Beast and Age of Extinction stuff was under the Pop Movie stuff. So it's under a different category. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Probably nothing. This isn't actually our very first Beast Wars Funko Pops, though, because technically the Funko Pop digital NFTs, the second wave of them, had a Cheetor in there that was like limited to 200 if you cashed in your fungible tokens or something. And if you want to get technical, we actually got some Maximals also even before that, because the Rise of the Beast Funko Pops had a Optimus Primal, a Rhinox, and a Airazor, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you forgot about that one, but can you blame them? So so we're going to be getting some Funko Pop Beast Wars. Will they be robot mode? Will they be alt mode? We shall see. I'm probably robot mode in this case, but we shall see. Let's get into some sad news, a double dose of it also here. Some layoffs going on. Super 7 is having a huge portion of their company laid off. The CEO, Brian Flynn from Super 7, put out a huge press release on their website and on multiple other toy news websites. And supposedly citing 145% tariffs are effectively hurting the business. And they had to lay off a bunch of their toy designers, and they're going to have to really scale back their releases and planning now because of it. You know what? Look, I love what Super 7 does. If anything, because they were able to take risks and do a lot of weird stuff. That's what I loved about that company, because they would do a lot of really crazy ideas and everything across all the different brands that they would have, not just Transformers. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's hurting Super 7, and I don't think tariffs is one to blame. I think it was a larger problem within the company. They take a lot of risks. They make a lot of crazy ideas, but a lot of times those crazy ideas and some of the pricing don't lead to sales. And while it's something that I might enjoy, what I might enjoy doesn't lead to 10,000 sales. So at the end of the day, I think we still need to wait it out. Again, I wish Brian Flynn all the best of luck. Again, I love what these guys do, but between their pricing, the location of their head office and stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's been making that company suffer long before tariffs were a thing. So we'll keep you posted on that, but I hope everything works out for them, and I hope to see them at San Diego Comic-Con this year when everything is hopefully better in the next 2 months or so. And even more sad news in terms of layoffs and an end of an era. So we had talked about the Diamond distribution problems and their bankruptcy woes that were going on over the last month and a half or so. Ad Populum bought out a portion of the company during this bankruptcy. Ad Populum, people who own NECA Toys and a few other things. While they did buy a big portion of the company, there's a lot of stuff they don't want. And they ended up laying off a good amount of people, and a lot of those divisions within Diamond are being shut down. One of those divisions being Diamond Select Toys. Now, Diamond Select Toys was something that was started in 1999, and they were very successful with their Mini-Mates line, which a lot of people loved and collected, which was like a Lego-like style kind of minifig, but across so many different brands that even Lego would have never touched. I mean, technically, Mini-Mates had Marvel before Lego. They had a lot of great stuff there. I own quite a few Mini-Mates. And they were also behind that fantastic Marvel Selects action figure line. Again, super high-end stuff long before we got the crazy high-end stuff through Marvel Legends and everything. And of course, they're teaming up with Art Asylum and doing amazing statues and stuff. So for us Transformer fans, they were behind a lot of the statues that we bought between like 2005 and 2011. They did that Transformers Mini-Mates line that we talked about multiple times on the podcast as those new releases were happening. So technically, the very last Transformers Mini-Mate release is going to be that VHS Mini-Mates box set, Transformers the Movie Part 2 set. That's the one that came with Thundercracker and Dead Optimus. So it's the end of an era. Love the Mini-Mates. Love them a lot. And now those are gone. But with the ending of Diamond Select Toys and Mini-Mates and all of that, this does beg a big question. And this goes into what we talk about a lot on the podcast when it comes to trademarks and stuff. So Hasbro let the Battle Beast trademark lapse back in 2005, 2006. And Diamond swooped in and registered it and teamed up with Art Asylum and made like their own version of Battle Beasts. It wasn't exactly like what Takara and Hasbro did. They took the name of the brand and that kind of equity associated with it and created their own version of Battle Beasts. It was a short-lived Mini-Mates adjacent kind of line. It had a comic book with IDW that didn't last very long. And then pretty much everything went dormant by 2012. But Diamond kept the Battle Beast trademark alive by throwing that trademark on small little side projects that were completely unrelated to the branding of Battle Beasts or anything, just to keep the trademark alive. But now that Diamond is gone and Diamond Toys is shut down, maybe Hasbro might want to swing in and get back that trademark. The trademark that Diamond has is going to expire later this year. So there is a possibility that Hasbro could swoop in and get back the Battle Beast trademark. And it would be important because, Diamond had that trademark all that time, and it kept Hasbro from importing the Beast Saga line. The Beast Saga line, for people that aren't aware, was the 25th anniversary of Battle Beasts in Japan, which was known as Beast Formers. And it was like a 25th anniversary revival line. And it had a manga, it had a toy line, it had a trading card game, it had an anime. Like there was this whole thing that was built for this 25th anniversary. And Hasbro wasn't able to bring it over because they wanted to bring it over and use the proper, branding and trademarking that could be associated with nostalgia in that of Battle Beasts. And they couldn't because, well, at the time, Diamond had it. So maybe, just maybe, they could get back the Battle Beast trademark. And then maybe even if they want to, import all this stuff that they did during Beast Saga a few years ago. I think it was about 12 years ago at this point. But, 12 years ago. And look, you have a toy line, you have a card line, you have an anime. It's all ready to go. It's all good to go. Better late than never. And you could bring that over and have a new take and celebrate something in relation to Battle Beast for some kind of anniversary. Hey, well, maybe do like a 40th anniversary Battle Beast thing if you kind of like plan it out over the next 2 years or so. There could be something going on there. You never know. You never know. But either way, that's all I could really say. There's been a lot of downer news today. It's a lot of bad news stuff, but it's just what's going on in the world right now. You got to keep your head up and keep positive and just wait and see with a lot of stuff that's happening. Let me know what you think about all of this. And once again, thank you again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed in what's going on in our beautiful plastic robot hobby. And of course, with some beasts too on multiple ends. And I'll talk to you in the near future.